All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Yes, I hope we had a restful night. My name is Akonde Olakomi Joshua, and I'm going to be our course instructor for this very morning's morning market review. Yes, and yes, and yes. Very, very interesting. Okay, so I'll use this opportunity to acknowledge everybody I can see online now currently. I can see Adedeji Adelana. I can see Akpo Favor. I can see Alebode Isedu. I can see Alfonso Sikediashi. I can see Anna Yochu Ku Anyawu. I can see Anthony Kayode. I can see Aremu Okpeyemi. I can see Chinedu. I can see Clemens Pereira. I can see Dynasty Haj. I can see Ace Joseph. I can see Ekpemski. I can see Gideon Tabubo. I can see, okay, Infinix X6516. All right. I can see James Otegbayo. I can see Kainde Adetono. I can see Nwaga Nicholas. I can see Oko Agnes. I can see Wasiu Shubandi. I can see Yemzi Tech. I can see Yusuf Abdulkadir. I can see Yusuf Rashidat. All right. So for those that did not hear me calling their name, maybe you're just joining, and okay, sorry about that, but all the same, kindly note that I acknowledge every one of us for joining this morning's market review. Good morning, everybody, once again. Yes, very good. Thank you very much. All right, so before we move on, please, I would like to know if you are able to hear me from your end. If you're able to hear me from your end, please kindly drop it at the chat section loud and clear. Loud and clear. So I will see. Just drop it there. Just drop that chat for me there, loud and clear. So I will know you can hear me clearly. And I'll know that there's no network issue. It's not distorting. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Yusuf Abdul Kadir. I can see it. You said loud and clear. Okay, Mr. Anayochuku, I can see us too loud and clear. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I see that. Thank you. Thank you. So, okay, Dynasty Haji, I can see it. Ekpemski, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Okay. Now, with that being said or cleared, we already know that yes, you can hear me loud and clear from your end. It means my network is very okay. And where you are, for those that can hear me clearly, it means your network is okay too. So it means if you're unable to hear me or you discover that there's a glitch in my voice or what you're hearing, all it means is the network coverage for that particular area is a little bit distorted. So I would advise you either switch off your phone and leave and on it, or you change your location. You understand? So that's when it's not going to disturb your whole you not being able to hear the whole talk very clearly. All right. With that being said, let's moving to the real deal. Yes, we know yesterday we had some important we had an important news coming out, and yes, that affected the market. It pushed the market, and with that, I hope we were able to like make some opportunities out of it. So first thing first, I'll share my screen so we'll see the news that came out yesterday, and we'll see how it affected the market. I'm sharing my screen now so we can see that. All right, so we're going back to see what happened yesterday. So yes, yesterday on the euro in France, you understand, it's a French bank on holiday, you understand. They were on holiday throughout. Then by 2 minutes after 12, we had news coming out on GBP, that's the Bank of England monetary policy report, and the monetary policy summary, then the MPC official bank rate votes, then the official bank rates, yeah. So what actually happened was yesterday they actually reduced their their bank rate by 25 0.25 basic point. You understand? 0.25 basic point. And yeah, it also moved to the market, although they emphasized that they were going to reduce it by 0.25 basic points. And the MPC official bank rate also came out positive for them. So yesterday on instruments paired with GBP, like GBP USD, GB card, and the likes, you discover that it was bullish around that time. Yes, the market moved up. Understand? Then by 12:30, we had the Bank of England Governor Beatty, who also spoke, and he also affected the market positively. Then by 1:30, we had the unemployment claims, you understand? And Yeah, although we are seeing it as neutral because yeah, it's still very close to based to what we're seeing on forecast 228,000. You understand? But even with that, it was still okay, and that means it's good. You understand? One way or the other, yes. Even though the number it's not that much, it's very very close to it, and we all know that when your actual comes out neutral, we say it's still good for what? A buy. It means partial buy, you understand? So yes, even if it's going to buy, it might not buy with full volatility the way we're expecting it, but yes, it's going to move slowly. Then by 3 p.m., we had the president of US speaking, that's President Donald Trump, and we discovered that yes, that market actually, his speech actually moved the market to around that process. In fact, more of a on stocks movement. Like around that time, I was on US 100 and I saw the way it was going down. You understand? The bearish movement was strong on US 100 around that time. Okay, then by 4 p.m. we had the Bank of Canada press conference. You understand? There was a press conference by 4 p.m. So that was actually basically the whole thing that happened yesterday when it comes to the news. You understand? But today we are expecting some other set of news, like another news coming, and that's the GBP Bank of England Governor Bailey is going to be speaking by 9:40 a.m. this morning. Then by 1:30 p.m. we're going to be having the Canadian employment change and unemployment rate. Then by 4:30 we'll have FOMC member Waller speak. Okay, so these are all the news we are having for today, and yes, the news coming out by 1:30 on the Canadian economy. That's the unemployment change and the unemployment. That should also move the market because based on what we're seeing, the news is high impact news. And by 9:40, Governor Bailey is also going to be speaking. Now, you see, for speeches, you can't measure the strength of a speech. The highest you can do is you wait and see reactions, then you what? You follow. You understand? Once you see the reaction, you see the direction the market is going, then you follow. Then by 4:30, we're also having Waller speak to. So the same way you trade the news of Governor Bailey, be like the speech. This is also a speech too. So we'll only wait and see the reactions. Then what we follow. So, but basically, let's look at how the market reacted to these informations yesterday. So I'll be sharing my chart. Let's see. Coming. Just nice. So yes, this is it. This is our chart. So let's look at GBP USD as of yesterday when the news came out. Yes, as of yesterday, this is it. This is the news yesterday. It came out, and this is on my 15 minutes time frame. Look at what it did. From at first, it did as if it was going down before the news came out, and when the news came, poop, it went up. So it was a massive bullish movement yesterday, and after that, it reversed back again. You can see it. It went back again. 100% movement, reversal back, came down. Now you can see what price is doing today. You understand? Actually, price has started trying to push back as like it's trying to push back to the upside this morning. Okay. So that's the whole thing that happened for yesterday based on that news that came out yesterday. You understand? So let's see what is going to happen today. We'll look at how the market is going to move today technically. Yes, we also had President Trump speaking yesterday, and you see this is the whole thing. Yeah, we said he spoke by 3. This news came out 12. This is 1, 2, 3. Now look at the bearish movement on GBP USD from 3. That was the speech President Trump made yesterday. While he was speaking, he showed that the speech was a positive one for the US economy, and he pushed the market down on GBP USD. You understand? And that's why I was saying, even on instrument like US 100, I actually saw it going down. That's because the speech was actually a positive one. There were reactions to this market as of yesterday. If you look at even on gold too, they also dropped. It also dropped around that moment too yesterday too. So all these, yeah, positive speech was made by the president to the economy of US, and that was why the market went down. You understand? So that's that for yesterday's news. But today we'll be looking at what is going to happen. Yes, we've seen the news that is coming out. So we'll look at what is happening technically. Like we all know, we'll start with currencies. After which we move to commodities. From commodities, then we move to stocks. So first thing first, start with my currencies. So currencies, we're looking at Euro USD. Euro USD. So for a while now, we actually discovered this is on my monthly time frame. So just see what is happening in the market on my monthly time frame. So if we're going to look at it based on what we're seeing on the trend, we'll actually discover that on the monthly time frame, price has actually been dropping. You understand? Look at what we're seeing on the monthly time frame. Price has been dropping slow and steady. You understand? Based on what we're seeing, price has been dropping for a while. You understand? Price has just been dropping. It's been respecting that trend. You understand? So what are we expecting again? Even with that, again, we can still, well, yeah, let's just put it that way. It's been dropping, and you see that price has actually respected this trend for a while. So are we still expecting price to drop? Yes, based on what we're seeing on trend on the monthly time frame, and this is on a long term. This is on a long time. It is expected that price should drop. The only reason why price will not drop is if there's a change in the economic movement between the euros and the US. You understand? If there's a different move, because currently due to the trade wars that have actually affected the dollars and the strength of dollars, and dollars has actually been dropping for a while now. You see, so because of that now, that's why we're having this. But if price is able to even break above this on the monthly time frame now, we should expect that price will go back up. But for a while now, we'll discover that all this whole move has actually happened between these 2 points. The whole move of whether price is going up and coming down has just been in between these 2 points. You understand? Just been like this, going up and coming down. So let's wait and see. Is price going to break out of these zones? If he's able to break out of these zones, then we'll know which direction the price is most likely to move towards. Now, looking at it, even on the weekly time frame, you discover that price is actually respecting that points to daily time frame is still the same thing, because looking at what we're seeing here, price is not going anywhere. You understand? And based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, price has gotten rejected. So if we are looking at it on the daily time frame, we look at it from this aspect that if price is able to break below this particular section where it is now successfully, we should expect price to sell. So yes, I'm giving it to us from this part. Let's look at it. On this part, under the daily time frame, if price is able to break below this part successfully, then we could have the continuation of what Euro USD is selling. So if price is able to break below this part successfully, there could be a continuation in that bearish move. There could be a continuation in that bearish move. But if price does not do that and it reverses back to the upside, yes, maybe we'll have to wait around this trend, then we can come forward our sell. But if that is not the case, if it's able to break above this trend, then we could have price moving up. Okay, so let's look at it. Even on the 4 hours time frame, you discover that point is a strong zone. It's a strong support zone. That's why you're seeing price being rejected. Now, 1 hour time frame. Okay, so let's see what is price doing on the 1 hour time frame. Yes. All right, so on 1 hour time frame, based on what we are seeing, see it? Yes. So it's a support tool. So are we expecting price to break above? Fine. Based on what we are seeing, price has actually pushed back up this morning. So showing that the dollars is trying to pull its way, showing that it's also strong. So are we going to have or no, euros has pushed, is showing that okay, it's also strong. You understand? That's why price is pushing up. So fine, we could have price reversing back and pushing back to the upside, but if it's unable to cross at most above this particular section, there's a zone here, and if price is unable to break outside this zone, out of this zone, if price is unable to break out of this particular zone we're seeing here, then I'm not expecting it to go up. You understand? Although currently where it is, there's a little price is having issues here because there's a zone around this point. So if price is able to push up and break above this section, then fine, we could have price buying. But if that does not happen, you could have price reversing back to the downside, breaking below this point, and the bearish movement continues. So that's that on Euro USD. Okay, so let's move to the next instrument, which is USD JPY. Let's look at USD JPY. All right, so I'm on USD JPY now. So basically, based on what we're seeing on the monthly time frame on USD JPY, we discover that yes, price has actually gone up for a while. And based on what we're seeing here, okay, let me delete this and come in. Okay, so based on what we're seeing here, price got to this particular high. Yes, which was so That's the highest price has gotten to as of now. You understand? Based on what we are seeing from records of past market actions, you understand? This is the highest price has ever gotten to 162.142. You understand? And since then, price has been rejected and it has ranged between, in fact, has not gone below this particular section we are seeing as of now, recent. As of recent, price, whenever price gets to this part, it gets rejected back to the upside. Now, the same thing, are we expecting that price will push back to this upside again? That's what we're waiting to see. You understand? Well, based on what we've seen over time, yes, price will push back, right? So, well, this is a monthly time frame. Let's see, weekly, is it the same thing? Weekly is also showing that yes, price has actually ranged in those points. You understand? Got up here, reversed back to this point. You understand? And the main thing is price is just trying to pull itself JPY to, and yes, I feel basically the whole reason why price has been dancing between these 2 points now is just because of the trade wars. You understand? I think it's actually because of the trade wars. That's why we've been having price has been having issues in around all these spaces. But fine, let's see daily time frame. What is happening? Still the same thing. Now, this is what we're going to look at. On USD JPY, based on what we saw on monthly time frame, the trend actually market are pushed up. You understand? But let's look at it based on what we're seeing now. All right. So around this point, price is currently is price going to move back up? Because yes, it got rejected around this point and got to this particular section now. Price is having issues. So yes, we could have price reversing back and breaking up. This could be a minor pullback here. Then it reverses back and push up, breaks above that part. Well, this is on my daily time frame. So if it's able to break above that part successfully, it could go up. But let's see. Set up those. Let's do it this way. Now, can you see this is on 4 hours time frame? Then my 1 hour. All right. So fine, based on what we're seeing on 1 hour, if we're expecting price to drop, you understand? If we're expecting price to drop, let's hold on for price to drop below this part. Let's see. Price is able to get below this part successfully. Then we could expect price dropping. But if that does not happen, I'm not expecting it going anywhere because there's a zone here. Price could actually get rejected around this point and reverse back to the upside, breaking above all these sections. You understand? But as far as price does not break below this part, let's not trade the bearish market. Let's wait for it. It could reverse back to the upside. And based on what we are seeing on the trend, like we all know, or like I said earlier on, we discovered that price actually has been moving up. If we look at the trend, price has been moving up. You understand? So let's see. All these whole movements are between these two prices. This a monthly time frame. As I will actually say is because of the trade war. Then the market is just trying to adjust. And mind you, don't lest we forget, there's going to be a meeting between the US and the Chinese economy on Saturday and Sunday. And you see, that also could also affect any markets we're going to be having by Monday on instrument paired with JPY and the likes, you understand? So that's that on USD JPY. Well, let's look at USD card, USD card. Now, yes, this is on, okay. This is on my 1 hour time frame. I think the last time we looked at this, look at it now. Price, I remember I think I was the one, I did an analysis on this. Maybe it was in class. I was discussing with them. I told them that as far as price is unable to break below this part, I'm expecting it to push up. And price just touched it a little and reversed back. And since then, it has gone up. In fact, gone up even higher than what I even if you say this is on 1 hour time frame, you understand? Okay, so let's look at what we're seeing here now. So price currently is having issues between these 2 points. This is point 1 and this is point 2 coming. Point 2 should be around this point, you understand? So this is how we're going to do it to make it fair. If price is able to break below this part, then we can look out for sell. If it breaks below this part, we can look out for sell. And if it reverses back to the upside and it breaks above this section successfully, if it breaks above this section successfully, then we can go for that buy market. Buy market. Okay, we can go for that buy market. All right. Okay, so Eddie, you said, good morning, sir. Please, how can I duplicate horizontal lines on my laptop? There's nothing hard on that. All you just need to do is this. There are two ways. I believe you can see my screen from your end. You can come over to this point and pick it directly, and you can drop it. You understand? But once you drop it like this, double click. Once you double click it, you see that it's going to be highlighted. Once it gets highlighted, very good. You press your control key down, you hold it down, then you what? You left click. Once you left click, you drag. Once you drag, you see it will duplicate it. That's all. There's nothing hard about that. That's one easy thing you can do from your end. Okay. All right. So that's that. All right. Okay. So we are done with USD card. We're done with USD card. All right. Kingsley Ifeanyi Chukwu, you said, can we use pending orders to wait for buy and sell? Yes, you can use pending order. Everything depends on you. Once you are able to get the particular zone you're seeing and you're okay with it, you can use your pending order for that. You understand? And yeah, it could work for you very well. Just whatever it is you're doing, just make sure you have the precautionary step, which is your what? Your take profit and stop loss. In fact, most importantly, make sure you have your stop loss. You understand? To help you in terms of your risk management. That's that. All right. All right. So let's move forward. Let's go to USD CHF. USD CHF. USD CHF now. All right. So let's push it. So looking at it on USD CHF, look at price has actually ranged. This is a monthly time frame. It's just been between these 2 points since. It's not going above all these parts. It's just been dancing between all these parts, coming back down. You understand? This is the lowest it has ever gone. You understand? In the history of USD CHF, this is the lowest it ever came. You understand? And this happened in around 2010. The lowest it got to. It happened around 2010. No, 2011. Yes, around 2011. This was when this happened, 2011. But since then, it has not gone to that part. So let's look at what price is currently doing. Is price going to get to around that side again? If it gets to that side, we already know we're expecting price to push up. If that's based on technicals. But let's look at it on the 1 hour time frame, see what is going to happen. So basically, based on what we're saying, price has gotten rejected here. So are we expecting price to drop down? So if you want to go for a sell on CHF, because CHF2 itself is actually, for me, I feel is a strong currency. So if he's able to break below this part successfully, it's coming down to this point. That's what I see there. But if that does not happen, it could reverse back up. And if it reverses back up, and it breaks above this particular section, then we could go for that buy. If it's able to break above this section, we could go for that buy. All right, so first thing first, let me share my screen. Let's see the currency strength meter as of this morning, so we'll know how the currencies are actually faring. Okay, let me just currency strength meter. So yes, as of this morning, based on what we are seeing, can we see it? The strongest of all instruments is JPY, then followed by euros. Then we now have AUD and GBP. And based on what we're seeing on AUD and GBP, we can even see the green arrow highlighting on them, showing that they are beginning to gain strength. You understand? Then the next followed by USD and CAD and CHF. NZD is actually the weakest as of this morning. That's what we're seeing. And if we look at the chart, we'll also see a correlation on the chart based on what we're seeing in terms of the strength of this currencies. You understand? Okay. So let's go back to the chart. Let's go back to the chart just to make it show. Well, all right. So, and I feel that's why as of this morning, yes, see, USD gained has lost strength to some point. CHF gained strength, and there was this whole thing that made it also fine. Because as of now, USD is a little bit stronger than CHF. That's why we're seeing this. And basically, yes, there's a zone around this point technically. So if it's able to break this below this part technically, then we should expect price to come back down. But if that does not happen, we could see price pushing up. You understand? USD, just because it's going to need little strength. But if it loses that strength, you're going to see it come below this part. And if it comes below this part and breaks below it, it's going down all the way, showing that CHF is what is gaining strength. Yeah. So let's look at the next currency, which is GBP USD. GBP USD. So Just like we're seeing now on this chart, GBP USD. I, for one, I will be expecting that the price should push up. The price of GBP should push up. But even if it wants to go up, I expect it to what? Break above this part. Let the market price close above this section first successfully. If it's able to close above this particular section successfully, then I'll see price coming back up. But if that does not happen, it could get to this point, get rejected. Yeah, so as far as price is unable to close above this part now successfully, I'll be expecting price to what? To drop. So that's my take on GBP USD. Okay. All right. So let's go to commodities now. Let's go to commodities now. We'll look at gold first. Let's see. I'm going to be looking at gold. All right, so I'm with us, and this is gold. And based on what we're saying on gold, uh, well, are we still expecting price of gold to come down? So based on where price of gold is now, you understand, it's a zone. If it's there's this dynamic resistance around this point, is it able to break above it successfully? So this is it. If price is able to, looking at this moving average, based on what I'm saying here, if price is able to close above these two moving average, not when it's in between, if price goes above this particular moving average around this point, then I would say we should go for a buy. Now, normally gold is more of a buying instrument. You understand? It's more of buy than sell. You understand? So I'll go for a buy if it closes above this section. But if that does not happen, we could see price coming back down, because basically I believe the whole trade war that has been happening between US and other economy has actually affected this market, and that's why we've been seeing price pushing up and coming down. In fact, as of yesterday by 3 p.m. Let's see. So we'll see the news, the whole thing that happened around 3. Can you see by 3 p.m.? You see, price started having issues, and after that, it dropped yesterday because the statement of President Trump was positive for that market. So because dollars was strong, that was the best time to sell gold, and we can see the reaction followed. There was a fall on gold, you understand? So that could also be. And another interesting thing I want you to know is this: gold, in fact, all the instruments you're seeing when it comes to commodities, they are known as economic instruments. We said that time to that number, and we'll still continue to say they are economic instruments. They react to economic issues, you understand? So one way or the other, we have a lot of instruments that affect gold. And some of these instruments, or some of these economies, we need to look at them. You know, there are times that news comes out from Britain, it affects gold. Even from Australia, yeah, they affect gold. We have some of these countries like that that have says on gold. So because of that, we need to look at the economies that have strong says on gold. And if you're able to get this information about them, you understand, whenever there's anything positive happening on them or negative, you know the reaction is going to give you on gold. So well, that's my take on gold. Anyway, if I'm going for buy, I'll wait for it to close above this particular section. But if that does not happen, we should expect price to what? To keep still continue that bearish move to where it is currently now. Yeah, it could still drop back. So, well, that's that on gold. That's that on gold. Let's go to oil. Okay, so this is oil. I'm on oil now. And based on what we're seeing on oil, yes, price of oil has actually gone down for a while. Now it has pushed up. Okay, so are we still expecting price to push up? Yeah, I'll still say, because price is going back up now and it's getting to this part for a while now. Yes, on oil, I still expect the price of oil to what? To push up on oil. I'm expecting the price of oil to push up. On oil, we should, in fact, I'm expecting that strong push on oil to go up. That's my own basic take, Sha. I'll expect price to push up on oil. I'm expecting the price of oil to push up. Yes, I'm expecting the price to push up. Based on what I'm seeing, I'm not I'll expect the price to push up. And if it's pushing up, we should also look at, based on what we're saying in time past, around, okay, So there's a zone around this point here now that we need to look out for. So price could get to this point and it gets rejected. But as far as price, if price is able to break above this part now successfully, then we could have price pushing up very well. But if it doesn't break above this part, we could have price now reversing back down. So for me, I'm still expecting price to get to this particular section up here. So is price going to break it? Let's hope so. If price is able to break above it, then good. It means the bullish movement will what? Will continue. All right. So that's that on oils for me. That's my take on oils. Let's look at another instrument on commodity. Let's go to wheat. Let's go to wheat. All right. So we are on wheat now. We're on wheat. All right. I remember the last time I spoke on wheat, I think maybe it was in class. I told them if it doesn't able to break down below this part, it will go up. And yes, you see, came down, did this whole thing after that. It think closed below. In fact, it closed directly on that zone. And after that, I did what pushed up to the upside, broke that part, closed above it, went up. I remember I was saying if it breaks above this part, it's good. Closed up and everything. After that one, gapped up a little, then came back down, pushed up. Now it's back to that same point again, to that same point again. So it is just like this now. This is what I would say because, okay, if price is unable to break below this part, now in fact, I would say because price now is in between this particular zone now. So we need to trade carefully. We need to trade carefully, you understand? So let's wait for it. Is it going to close above here? If it closes above now, above this zone successfully in this lane, we could have price pushing up to this upside. But if that is not the case, comes back and closes bearish, we could have price dropping down to this point. You understand? So that's just it on wheat, you understand? So let's just wait for this particular market to close and see which direction it's picking. Is it the upside or the downside? Then we'll take our stand with whichever direction we see price moving to. Okay. All right. The next one. Okay. Eddie is saying, sir, corn is bouncing out from a weekly support zone. Okay, you want us to look at corn. Let's see corn then. Let's look at what corn is saying. Corn, where are you? Come here. Let's look for corn. Let's see what corn is saying. Okay, I'm on corn. With us coming. Still with us. Still with us. Okay, I'm with us, please. Still working something. Okay, so let's see. So when it comes to corn, like we all know, corn is also one of the commodities we have, you understand? And based on what we are seeing, we've seen that corn actually has actually gone down for a while. Based on this trend that we are seeing, it has gone down a while, you understand? And in fact, currently the movement it's been bearish. It's been bearish, you understand? Based on what we're seeing from these price levels and the whole thing. The potential, if you see it around the support zones, is actually around this 447.50. Okay, let's look at it. Let's see around this point. So 447, 50s also. This is one support zone because actually, if you look at it, you discover that price actually gapped around this point on corn. You understand? Based on what we're seeing on corn, this is one support zone here and price gapped around this point. You understand? Price gapped. Although there's another support zone below here. You understand? I have this particular support zone that came out below here. You understand? So based on what we're seeing, while we have the resistance around where is it? Coming. Let's see. Coming. We have a resistance around this point. You understand? Yes, there's resistance here and the likes like that. Okay. So you see, one of the things around corn, you understand, is this. Um, we'll say I can say the market has just been bearish for a while, you understand? It's been more of that bearish move and the likes. Okay, so I'll say if price is able, normally because this gap that happens, normally I will expect price to come and fill it back, but I don't know when price will feel that. It could take time, you understand? So I would expect price to push up to this upside, maybe around this point, around this point. You understand? Now, once it gets to this point, we will have price coming back down to fill in this price. But if that does not happen, we could have price pushing up again. You understand? But based on what we've been seeing over time now, the price has actually been bearish. If you look at it based on what we're saying, it's been bearish. This is just my monthly candlestick. You understand? This is on my monthly time frame. So yes, we could actually experience and price coming down. So let's just see. It could be a minor pull up of price, you understand? And after that, we could have price reversing back down on corn. We could have price reversing back down on corn. But let's hold on and see. If price gets to this point and is unable to break above it, then we should expect price to what? To drop, to continue that bearish move on corn. So that's that on corn, okay? Let's now get to indices. Let's look at indices. So on indices, let's look at start with US 30. Starting with US 30. So, okay, US 30. Now, US 30, we discovered that for a while, price just did its own thing, the later pushed up to this high, got rejected, came down, you understand? And I feel the whole rejection that happened yesterday, that bearish move that happened yesterday, was as a result of the whole statement. But yeah, at the same time, it pushed up at a point. So this was around 2, 3, just went down a little, then by 5 went up and remaining even to 6. Then as of this morning, since then it started dropping, and this morning we can see that price is currently more or less like it's dancing around that point. You understand? So based on what we're saying here, because it is ranging, let's hold on for price to give us a definite direction on where it's going. Like we all know, on ranging zones are correction zones, you understand? So let's wait for it to give us a clear cut. And even though it's just in between these two zones as of now, you understand? So let's wait for it to give us a clear cut. Is it pushing up? If it pushes up, we can follow it up. Then if it's able to break above this part, then good and fine, we know it's going. But if that does not happen and it reverses back down, breaks below this part, we could expect price to what? Drop. And if it's dropping, it could drop back to around this particular section here before reversing back to the upside. You understand? That's my take on US 30 anyway. My own opinion. Then US 100 too, just like we're seeing, we're almost having the same move, but on US 100 is more or less like it's giving us that bullish movement currently, you understand? Since when price got rejected, it went up, did a minor pullback, push up, now the same thing. Are we still expecting it to? Yes. I, for one, I'm expecting price to still push up on US 100. That's my own take. It's my own opinion. You understand? The market might not do like that, you understand? But if the price is able to break above this part successfully, then we could have price still going up for a long time. You understand? But I, for one, I pitch my tent with the bulls on US 100. As of what I'm saying this morning, I'm pitching my tent with the bulls. I'm going with the bulls on US 100. That's my take on US 100. Okay. All right. So let's move to the next instrument. Let's move to the next instrument, which is US 500. I'll go with US 500. So US 500 too. Yes, I'll still expect price to push up, but currently it has not given me that full vibes yet. So I won't want to go with that. But basically, if we look at the trend, we are looking at the trend based on what we are seeing on this 1 hour, you see that yes, price is actually pushing up here based on what we are seeing. So yes, I'll expect price to push up on US 500, but just let's be conservative about it. This is indices, you understand? Let's not be too aggressive on it to save ourselves, you understand? So US 500, I'm still expecting a bullish movement. US 2000, the same thing. US 2000 bullish movement. Well, the interesting thing is these are all US stocks or under the US market, you understand? So yes, they've been giving us the same move, you understand? They've been moving the same way. So I'll pick my 10 just the same way it is. I'm expecting the market to what? To go bullish on all of them. That's my take. I'm expecting it to go bullish on all the US stocks. You understand? How do you know the timing of candlestick, for instance? For an 1 hour. Wait, Mr. Ekpemsky. Okay, your question, I'm not getting it clearly. It says, how do you know the timing of candlestick, for instance, for an hour? Okay, so one of the things we need to understand. Okay, if from my own little understanding, um, one, I think it depends on the time zone of your liquidity provider. That's one. But basically, we just know this for sure. If it is, for instance, now you click on your crosshair and you drop it on this particular candle, you understand? Can you see what it's showing? It's showing 1705. It means the next candle that you're going to see to open is supposed to be around 1805. So let's put it on the next one, which is this. So it should be what? Can you see 1805? In fact, let's put it this way. Let's go to candle one. Candle one. On candle one that we are seeing on US 2000, this 805, right? Candle one, 805. So on candle zero that is still forming, by 905, we should have a new candlestick starts forming for us. So I just feel that's that. That's just the main thing. So 905, you have a new candlestick opening for us. Well, it's just your liquidity providers time zone and main that really affects. You understand? So that's that for that. I believe I was able to answer your question, Mr. Ekpemsky. Okay. All right. So I'll give us the opportunity. Okay, very clear. All right, thank you. All right, so around this junction now, this is 8:46. We still have some like 13 minutes and some seconds. So if you have any question or you want us to do anything, just drop it down. Okay, I can see A1 Wisdom saying, good morning, sir. Can you kindly recap the Euro USD and GBP USD? Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Let's go to Euro USD. Let's start with Euro USD first. Then we'll go to GBP USD. Okay, I can see Ayan, you're saying, please, USD CHF again. All right. All right. Let's look at it. Euro USD, GBP USD. I'll start with that then. We'll go to stay with us. Okay. Euro USD. So yes, Euro USD, just like I said, I'm expecting it to be bullish, you understand? But even if he wants to buy from me now, I'm still expecting it to break above this part. Except for those that want to be aggressive. If you really want to be aggressive, you could go for that instant buy, and you understand? If you want to be aggressive for it, that yes, you're expecting it to go up, you could go for that buy. You understand? But I know that for sure, yes, I am expecting Euro USD to push up. That's my own take. Euro USD, I'm expecting it to push up, and that's why I'm showing it us to here. This part has been shaded. It's able to break above this part successfully. Yes, price should what? Should push up on Euro USD. I'm pitching my tent with the bulls on Euro USD this morning. Yes, I'm pitching my tent with them. I expect price to push up. But if price gets to this part and it gets rejected, if it's unable to break above this part successfully, then we could have price going back down. That's that on Euro USD. Okay, so let's look at GBP USD. Let's look at GBP USD. Okay, GBP USD. Okay, so this is GBP USD, and as you can see on GBP USD now, it has even crossed into that part, you understand? So let's hold on and see. Is it going to close above this section? If it's able to close above this section, highest is you could have price just do a retest on this. And as far as price does not break below this section again, it's going to be bullish. It's going to be bullish. Like I said, I'm expecting price to also be bullish on GBP USD too. You understand? So if price is able to close above this particular section that has been shaded out for us, pitch your tent with the bulls. I expect price to what? To push up. Understand? Okay, so that's that on US GBP USD. So let's go to USD CHF. Let's go to USD CHF. Let's go to USD CHF. Okay, so USD CHF, like I said, dollars, well, dollars is actually weak. All this whole strength that we've been seeing around that has just been pushing. You see dollars pushing up like in the likes of USD CHF, USD JPY buying and remaining things. Yeah, technically we'll say yes, price has gone down for a very long time, so we expect it to be bullish. But you see, those moves that we've been seeing that yes, dollars has been going up and everything, for me, it's based on sentiment and political move. You understand? Like yesterday now, look at it. Not until President Trump spoke around 3, we did not see any strength on dollars. But the very moment he spoke by 3, we saw the way dollars pushed up and everything. So it's more of political movement for me. I just feel it's more of sentiment and political movement, governments and their political games. You understand? That's just what is happening. And that's why dollars, for me, in my own opinion, or based on my bias, I've been seeing price of dollars Oh, sorry. Hello, I believe you all can hear me now. Sorry for that. It's still the same network glitch. I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so just like I was saying at first, I said I'll go over it again. I'll go over it again. Sorry for that. I said, Mr. Okay, so Mr. Anayo, yeah, I mean, Mr. Kingsley, you were the one that said I didn't talk about Euro AUD. Now I'm going to talk about it. Like I said, I'll talk about it. But one of the things you need to understand is I can't talk about all the whole instruments in the market. You understand? It's not everything I can talk about, but I will try my best to talk about the major instruments that we see in the market because we know that even around the world, these are the instruments that are being traded the most. But anytime we have the flow open to us, like we should pick an instrument that we want us to check, you can drop it and we will check it. So GBP JPY, like I said, I'm expecting the price of GBP JPY to still go up, but that might not be the case if it breaks below this particular shaded part. Once, if it closes below this part, then we could have a bearish move on it. But if that is not the case, if it's able to close bullish successfully above candle one, we could have price moving to the upside. So that's that on GBP JPY. Let's look at Euro AUD. Let's look at Euro AUD quickly. So Euro AUD it is coming. So on Euro AUD, yes, on Euro AUD, currently price is ranging between these 2 points. This is 0.1 and this is 0.2. Price is ranging between these 2 points based on what we're seeing. You know, when price got down to this point, it broke out. At first, it ranged around this point, came down, then reversed back from this point, which is a strong support zone. You understand? After that, got up to this point, came down. It's just been between these 2 points. So what are we seeing here now? Let's wait for price to give us a clear cut. Let it break either above this part or below this part. Then we can pick our direction. If it breaks above this part and closes above it, then we know it's pushing up. But if that does not happen, then we could have price coming back down to this zone. And if it breaks below this zone successfully, we have this place to also contend with because it's a zone, you understand? So whatever, if you go for your sell, you should look out for this point. And if it breaks below this point successfully, then we could have that full-fledged bearish movement on Euro AUD. Okay, so that's that on Euro AUD. Okay, A1 reason you say, why is your bias bullish? Because it's just broke a major support on daily time frame. On which particular instrument is that? Are you saying that my bias is bullish? Is it on Euro USD or GBP USD? A1 wisdom. Yes, because I know that was the instrument you said I should look at. Yes. Is it on GBP or let's look at it? Which one of them? Euro USD. Euro USD. This is on. Okay. I'm with you. So let's check. On daily time frame, you said it just broke a support. So let's look at it. Euro USD on daily time frame. If you're looking at it on daily time frame, there's another zone here. I believe you can see it has not broken this particular point. So until it breaks this point, that's when we can talk about that. So let's look at GBP USD and see, is it GBP USD? So now this is it. It came down, broke this particular section, met with another strong support here. You understand? And he has reversed back to this point because formerly this point used to be what? A support. Now he broke it, came down, so it became resistance. So price is around this point again. So yes, like I said, my bias is bullish. If he's able to close above this part successfully, you understand? That's why you see this part is shaded. If it breaks above this resistance now successfully, this point now becomes what? Support again. Then we could have a little retest. I'm still pitching my tent with the bulls. That's what I said. You understand? So let's wait and see. Is he going to break above it? If it breaks above it, then good and fine. We're expecting a bullish move on GBP USD. That's just that. Okay, so AUD USD, that will be the last instrument, Mr. Ayo. That will be the last instrument for the day. AUD USD. So on AUD USD, what are we expecting? I'm expecting price to push up. That's my take on AUD USD. Yes, I'm expecting price to push up. And if it's pushing up, it's coming down to this particular section here. So if you're going for that, or let me put it this way, for you to be, so if you're a little bit reserved, hold on for it to get to this point, break above this part before you go. But if you want to go for that buy now, if you go for the buy now, wait for it to, around this point, you could go out because this point is close to a zone. You understand? But to be reserved, I could say wait for it to break above that part because price has been coming down and we see it got to this point, then reversal back up. We could have a little pullback of price and him likes, but yes, price could still go bullish. You understand? AUD USD. This is on my 1 hour time frame anyway. And if it's coming back, it still has all these whole places to contend with. But based on what I'm saying, I'll say AUD USD, I'm expecting price to push up irrespective of whether it's showing a bearish candlestick or anything. I'll still expect price to push up. You could just have a minor pullback, then a reversal back to the upside. So, but currently now it's not really giving us any definite direction on what it wants to do. So that's that. And if you look at it, I think, yeah, there's a little zone here. If we go to our lower time frames, maybe we could see that zone there. You see, on 15 minutes, that zone is there. And that's why price is having that little pullback. But if it's able to push back up and breaks above this part, it's coming back to this point. So that's that on the AUD USD. But if you're looking at the trend, you also see that the trend has been dropping for a while. You understand? Then around this point, that trend was broken. You understand? But let's see what it's going to be. Is it going to come down or is it going to reverse back up and break above this point? That's just the main thing. And for me, I feel it's going to break it. But let's wait. Let's not be too fast. You understand? Let's see what price is going to do around that point. So that's that on AUD USD. Thank you very much for everybody that's joined. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a lovely weekend ahead. Bye. See you same time next week.